What's up, everybody, and welcome to the final Arabia 1v1 of the evening. But it's against it's between, two of the very best in the business, if you will. Here in the red, we have MbL, recently returned to full-time Age of Empires, and he'll be playing as the Teutons. Over here in the north, playing as the blue, is Mr. Yo, playing as the Byzantines. Now, he's the long game expert, but both players are happy to play in chaos and messiness. So that's what I'm really excited about with this matchup, is that both of these players are happy to play a messy game. And look at this. Messy already. No, I'm just kidding. Killed that sheep a little early, but it's all good. Teutons versus Byzantines. Let's talk about it. Byzantines, obviously, super cheap trash, which is a big feels good in feudal age. Your ability to pump out an extra spear or two, an extra skirm or two, for the same amount of resources, as your opponent might be spending, is always helpful. It takes a little bit of the pressure off of some of the micro, at the very least. Teutons obviously benefit a lot in the Castle Age militarily from the fact that their knights, for example, are going to have more armor against melee units. That units are tougher to convert, things like that. Also have one of my favorite eco bonuses in the whole game of cheaper farms. So it's just so easy to get their food rolling. So Pax PR. Yeah, Teutons have one of the best eco bonuses in the game. How timely this is. And it is exactly that bonus that I just talked about. So their farms cost significantly less wood to drop. Somebody can give me the exact number. I think it's like 40 wood per farm as opposed to 60. So just that alone, right? If you think about it, for every farm, it's 36. Okay, there you go. Even more of a savings. So when you think about it that way, right? So that means if you place 3 farms, you've saved over 1 farm's worth of wood. So for every 3 farms you place, you can place a free farm. So for every 3 farms you place, you can place a free farm, essentially. And then have a little bit of wood left over. So that bonus alone is really, really fantastic for farm placement. And exactly, because you can put less on wood, you can then put those villagers on other things, and it kind of has this snowballing effect, which is really awesome. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, why they don't see much play in the high level. Largely because I think in a lot of cases, there are just still issues that, there are just civs that play maps better than them, if that makes sense. Like, Teutons is never the best civ on a map. They're a viable civ once you get down below a certain number of civs, right? I hate when this happens, man. This is so tilting. This poor villager has not moved. Look at her efficiency. There she goes. Finally gets back to working. But yeah, largely because I think on a lot of maps, right, other civs are just better. And so in tournament play, for example, you're not going to see them reached for because it's just like, oh, well, this other civ is a slightly better cav civ, or this other civ is a better whatever civ. So that's kind of the main thing. Also, Teutons have shitty ranged units because they don't get the final attack upgrade. And I feel like in a lot of tournament games, you want to have a little bit more flexibility to be able to go for ranged units and things like that. So it can be tough. Anyway, let's check back in with this game because we have villagers coming forward here from MbL, as well as 3 militia at the moment, 25 seconds away from the feudal age. And Yo's aware of it. So that's the thing. Yo's not going to be surprised by it. And Yo is immediately placing an archery range with 2 villagers. So it's not going to be long for him to get archers out onto the field, or skirms at that, because he's not on gold. My question is, did he see the villagers? Because he, at the very least, will not see them placing this archery range. I don't know if he actually saw the villagers or thinks that this is just a drush. Yo's going to go for an archer first and then move those 2 villagers onto gold. So it is going to be a little bit of archer play and some skirm play from him. Got a spear onto the field already. Love that. Again, Byzantines, cheap spears. Just get a unit out onto the field. MbL being so annoying, though, here. So annoying with the micro. I love it so much. And he's actually doing a lot of damage to that spear while saving a lot of health. Also, Mr. Yo, great find here to see that this tower was getting placed. And he's going to go for a tower of his own with 5 villagers. Will actually even beat it on the way up and possibly prevent it from being completed altogether. So well done from him in defense. All that said, MbL, right? He at least gets on to the berries, forces some idle time, right? So it's look at this worker efficiency in the last minute over here. 25% less as an example. And so that's the value that MbL is getting out of all of this, right? While he hasn't found more than 1 kill in total, and no eco kills at that, I think the 1 kill being the spear, exactly. He has done a lot of damage to the eco from the perspective of idle time or wasted time. MbL going for a horse collar, doesn't have double bit axe. Wonder if he thinks he clicked it, because Yo just got double bit axe now. And a little strange to me that he would go for the farm upgrade before the wood upgrade, but I guess just wanted to start placing farms at the very least to get his food eco rolling. So these very cheap Teuton farms are all going to have a lot of food on them as a result. And because you don't need as much wood income, I guess doesn't feel the pressure to get the wood upgrade as early. Now, if we check back into the middle of the map, it's actually Yo who's trying to come forward here with Scout and Skirms, getting chased all the way over to MbL's base, though, now by Skirms and Men-at-Arms. So, again, no real damage going to be done to either player outside of a little bit of military trades at the very least. But now it's kind of about refocusing towards the Castle Age. So we check in with farm counts and food ecos. We've got 16 on food in total here for MbL on the Teutons. Now, a lot of those are on these berries that will be finished quite soon. And so he'll need to drop more farms and or transition more onto gold or wood. Back over at Yo's base, it's just skirm production out of the forward archery range and sending those skirms all the way home. So annoying, in all honesty, that you now have your only production building forward. The fights continue over here. It's traded skirms lives for traded skirms lives, archer, and man-at-arms in the end. So basically the armies cancel themselves out for now. Horse collar coming in for Yo before he places too many more farms. Should apply to all of these. Completed just in time to make it count. MbL back at home, going for the walls at this point. Kind of understands, I think, that the game is moving towards Castle Age. So immediately going for Palisade walls with 5 villagers, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So spending a lot of villager time walling at this point, whereas Yo, not going to go for that just yet. Good find on the skirmisher here. And MbL's just looking for Castle Age. Continues to get those cheap farms down. Has got plenty of gold, but not enough wood for a market. I would assume maybe he wants to put a market here in this 4-tile spot. Market going down earlier here for Yo, so he could possibly look to buy his way up. He does have some on stone, so might just look to sell stone. Okay, so it's going to be blacksmith back here instead. So MbL not going to be able to buy any food at the moment. I could maybe argue that that was the wrong choice and that you wait 25 more wood for a market. but it's a minor difference at best. Close to Castle Age resources already. Just probably will garrison his villagers in a moment here, or right after this one completes, to get the food to click up 100 away. Mr. Yo much further away. That's the problem. He does have the market, so could sell. Again, could sell wood, could sell stone, and immediately have the food to click up, but has opted not to at this point. Stable now for Teutons. I think that's no surprise. Again, they love to go into some knight play if possible. Knights, monks, siege, things like that. Is getting fletching, though. So at least fletching for the low numbers of skirms that he has. Castle Age on the way here for Yo, a minute behind. And a second archery range being dropped. So the Byzantines player wants to go into crossbows. Camels, most likely. Crossbows, camels, monks. And then, yeah, Teutons, probably like skirms, knights, siege, monks. Skirms only if you have to. Just getting a couple more eco upgrades coming in, and a couple archer upgrades coming in for the Byzantine player. There's the stable in order to produce a couple of camels in the Castle Age to deal with the knights. Yeah, a lot of value, honestly, from these skirms, just in terms of keeping Mr. Yo busy, things like that. And again, you beat him to Castle Age. Idle time between the two players is near the same. And so MbL is going to catch up a lot of this villager discrepancy right here. He's only down 2, right? So he's going to get that pretty much closed up. Already has 2 vills forward. Look at that timing. 2 vills forward, monastery, siege workshop. So it is going to be knights, siege, monks, and maybe elite skirms. Maybe elite skirms. We'll see. Did just get double bit axe. So again, feels late to be getting that upgrade. And that's what makes me feel like he thought he got it earlier, because that feels like a Castle Age go to get Bosa and are only just then clicking double bit axe. But even forcing a watchtower up over here by Mr. Yo, and Mr. Yo immediately going into a second TC. If that's the case, I would really want him to consider dropping, before another TC, dropping a university and getting guard tower. I think at that point, just commit to some guard towers and outboom your opponent, because they're putting... Nope, he's going to go siege workshop himself. Has Bodkin, though. So this tower alone is already pretty effective, and with 5 archers in it, is firing a lot of arrows. But yeah, I actually would have loved to have seen university into like guard tower and ballistics, and just make it so that you can drop, yeah, like, because you're going to drop more towers, right? So here, like you could have done tower here, and at that point, you're very, very safe. You've already got a tower here. We've broken in through the back, though, MbL, and 2 mangonels now looping around are going to run into this tower, which will be up in time, and we do have mangonels coming out onto the field for Mr. Yo, so I think it will be difficult for MbL to find damage, and these are great stone walls over here. Could technically loop around and sit on this hill, but great stone walls by Mr. Yo to kind of slow things down, and I think MbL realizes, okay, I'm not going to get a ton of damage done at this point. And goes and drops that second TC. He'll, of course, still pressure with what he has. But I think we're not going to see as much of an all-out push at this point as we had seen before. See, this is where I think investing into watchtowers and not being willing to invest into university guard tower, for example, doesn't make sense to me. Imagine if these were guard towers. This wouldn't matter. You wouldn't even need this mangonel if these were guard towers. So that's all I'm saying there. Gets another watchtower up, plus has the town center here and the mangonel. So at this point, again, should be relatively safe and should have stopped most of the pressure. Look at these imp resources, though. Look at that. Do we have... And we've got the buildings, of course. Do we have a market? Oh my god, we still don't have a market. That's hilarious. So he actually has to get the gold. And he has it now. Click up. There we go. Okay. MbL is on the way to Imp after one of these villagers. There we go. Third TC now being dropped for Mr. Yo. What do we make of this Imp play? Early Imp play for Monks and Siege. We'll just go block printing. What do we... It is... Doesn't it feel a little random? Feels a little random. Because what do we... We just going chemistry... Yeah, chemistry into hand cannons and bombards. And then monks, block printing. So it's just going to be like monks and bombard cannons. Forward castle, yeah. He does have 7 on stone, so I would agree with that. That there will be, yeah, that there will be a castle drop. But, like, see, there's a problem with this. It's such an open map. And Mr. Yo is already expanding out this way, right? So, like, I would imagine your castle goes, like, here. Or, like, here. To kind of try and control both of these. Hit this and this. And then you can start trebbing in. Your opponent will likely just expand out this way. And, yeah, I think the question is, like, just will you have the economy to support enough military production? Look at this military here. 1 camel, 1 scout, 1 man at arms, 2 spearmen, 3 monks, 4 knights, and 5 skirmishers. University now, so we will be able to get... Yeah, it's literally just going to be hand cannons, bombard cannons, and monks. Back on this side, yeah, see, even Yo's like, now what's going on? So he's going to come forward, trying to scout a little bit, just with light cav and whatnot. Oh, and he's actually thinking about coming forward and dropping a castle, like right there, which would be pretty epic. That's such a conservative castle. Go drop it there, bro. MbL. What the heck? Oh, no. I'm so worried for MbL now. This does not feel like the right call. I mean, it is block printing, chemistry, and a castle, like we discussed. But yeah, now you're getting you're getting an actual aggressive castle drop on your face. And you have nothing at home. You don't have TCs to jump into. You've got 2. They're going to break through these walls. Market. And 20 vills on stone. So maybe we get a castle up at home in time. Who knows? I'm not sure about this one, friends. Castle's about to complete. Byzantines have the better late game. And I'm not sure MbL is going to do the damage that he needs to do. He is going to get a castle up. So that's pretty big. Like this, the fact that this castle is going to complete. He's actually running all of these villagers so that... Where is he running them? To this TC. Okay. He does have a trebuchet on the way. No bombard cannons were made. No. Do they not have hand cannon? I guess he just has no food. That's the problem. He has none on food. And he has very little wood. Thank God for Teuton's bonus. All these vills on wood. Pretty soon he's going to have 58 farms over here. But this is not looking good for MbL. He's been imp for 2 minutes. Almost 3 minutes now. And he's just now got a treb out for the first time. Just now creating a bombard cannon. He's got no other military. So it'll be very difficult, ultimately, for him to protect those trebs. But he at least gets to start trebbing first over here. Has chemistry already and is working away from the hill. So it's not all entirely lost. He did target the TC2 just in case because his opponent was not yet Imp, which I love. He was taking a chance that Yo had clicked Imp here on this TC, and that would have been pretty awesome. Unfortunately, that was not the case. This Treb, though, continues to do damage. And while Mr. Yo is producing Trebs of his own, again, he also has no military on this side of the map. So we are in kind of a base tradey situation, and MbL still is with the initiative. He's got some hand cannons, 1 hand cannon on the field, 4 monks, 2 bombard cannons, 3 trebs, 1 at home, 2 trebs at home, 1 forward. I mean, Yo not going to have a position to use this treb from, if we're being honest. He's trying to get Bracer in, and it is 10 seconds away from being complete, but he doesn't have very big numbers here when it comes to the crossbows. It is enough, though, alongside the camels to clean up these cav. And yeah, MbL looks for the retreat, but I think actually threw away more units than he would have liked there, especially when you have monks to heal up with. MbL heavily using the market, taking the market away from his opponent. Yo trying to reestablish a presence in the middle of the map with a TC or with the castle on that hill. And now MbL dropping another TC and a bunch of farms back at home. See, this food economy all of a sudden is going to shoot right back up. So I'm kind of curious to see how this game rebalances. We have a major pop cap, actually, which is helping MbL quite a lot. And even then, he might lose most of his units here on the front. The fact that Yo can't create anything for the time being and hasn't for a while he tries to get this castle up and spams a bunch of houses out. That buys MbL some time, actually, to both catch up in villager count, but just overall in the game, because without a doubt, Arbalest finishing and redemption on the way here for Yo. The Byzantines are in the stronger position right now. I think the Byzantines are absolutely in the stronger position. Arbalest plus bombard cannon feels pretty good against hand cannon, bombard cannon. You're going to have block printing as well. You've got better castle position here in the center of the map. This castle's not really doing anything for MbL anymore, if we're being honest. And so now it's just about protecting this position at home, which again, unfortunately, yes, Cavaliers on the way. You only have 0 camel or 0 knights on the field. That's not going to be in time to really defend against this push. Yeah, 2nd armor as well. Not even. Plate barding. Oh, I was going to say, if he got lucky with a couple early treb shots, but Vils are coming forward. Oh my god, it looked like he almost had it both times, but oh no. Now both trebs probably going down to the micro of Mr. Yo here. We'll take 3 shots to get one of them down, but he does. And effectively micros the bombard cannon to not be lost. The hit lands, but it barely escapes death. And unless this one is a laser, both trebuchets go down. The pressure continues here for Mr. Yo. Stables up in the back. We did have Cavalier complete. There are 3 on the field, 7 in the queue. And plate barding's about to finish, as well as bloodlines. And I don't think this stable is going to be target fired down. There is still potential, and there was still a push until that moment when the Treb unfortunately goes down on the front line here for MbL. And yes, he's got a couple Cavalier and will take out the bombard cannon. Doesn't have enough to really push these Arbalests back. And the push continues for Mr. Yo on the front. It is literally just an attempt at base trades here. 4 relics for Mr. Yo as well, which is nasty, by the way. And it is a 0 to 14. 14 to 0 KD when it comes to eco units So MbL's been the one trying to pressure this entire game and hasn't killed a single eco unit. He calls the GG because Mr. Yo played a near perfect game. 76-27 in overall KD, 15-0 in the eco KD. Didn't lose a single eco unit. How impressive. What a showing. What a showing. Because honestly, there was a lot of pressure coming in from MbL at the beginning there, and he got those towers up, and credit to him. Didn't end up needing guard tower, like I said, I thought would have been the wiser choice. And with just a couple watchtowers, and I mean, honestly, his mangonel didn't even really do much. He did drop the Siege Workshop, but it was basically just the watchtowers and a slightly better boom, and held into a stronger late game by Mr. Yo. Near perfect game, if not perfect. Well done. GG's.